Okay, we got, as we all know, we got the Giants coming to town. The guys are on fire. They've been playing great football. Coach Dable off to a great start and winning tough games, crucial, difficult, challenging finishes, and doing a lot of cool things. And so I know that they're really pumped up, and it's going to be a tremendous challenge. Looks like the NFC East is pretty well stocked, and obviously they're battling for the division lead there too, and so it's a great matchup for us, and as always, we'll benefit from playing a really good team, and hopefully we'll be able to get them, and but it's going to be a tough challenge.
They've had a lot of success running the football, not just with their running back, but the quarterback as well. Are you getting the sense? It seems like a lot of teams are really leaning on the ground game this year. Do you get the sense that maybe teams are starting to shift more toward that being more important, like it was maybe 20, 25 years ago?
It's always been important. It's just that other things drew the attention of kind of the following and the media and all that stuff. It's never not been. It was never of less significance because it's how the game works. And so I mean, last year the teams that finished on the top of the top of the heap all ran the ball well, and that's just kind of how it goes. So I'm not giving you that one, but it's obvious that there's some teams that are really running it well. I mean, there's some tremendous averages, out there and stuff, team averages, and these guys are averaging over 5 yards a carry, and you can see in this team in particular, the quarterback really enhances that. He's got 300 and something yards or whatever already. He's got a ton of yards. He's a big factor in their game, and it makes the rest of their running game effective too. So it's a big challenge for us.
What have you thought of the way your team has defended quarterbacks running?
Yeah, we've been working at it a little bit. We've seen some scramble yards, so we're challenged by it, and it ain't easy. It's a big part of the game, when you have a whole nother element, particularly when the design runs. The scrambles are hard enough, but when you have designed runs with concepts where the quarterback out of the gun's carrying the football, it adds to the number count, and it's a challenge to defend.
How much are the Giants doing that? Design runs with Daniel Jones?
No, they have tons of opportunities for him to run the football, all kinds of stuff.
Pete, how's DK and what's the plan for him this week?
He was out at the walkthrough today. He's not going to do anything. He feels a little better today. He's getting a little better, so we'll just got to wait and see how he responds. I don't have anything to update for you, but he's going to be real quiet, for the next couple of days to make sure that we take care of him.
With Saquon in his downhill style, how do you bottle him up? Is it rallying to the football? Is there something to maybe limit?
He has everything. He's got power, and he's got speed, and he's got tremendous elusiveness, and his tackle breaking ability is as good as anybody that plays the game. And so he poses as the ultimate threat. A really good catcher, coming out of the backfield. I think he's their leading receiver as well, and so they're using him in every way that they can, and it makes it really difficult. And he's got real style. He's got real style about him. He's got great flexibility, and his lateral movement is tremendous, and his burst is great. So this is as hard as it gets.
You mentioned their close finishes. They've had to come from behind in a number of those wins. Their fourth quarters, what does that mean for your team, or kind of teaching points for them?
Well, what we know is that they're going to have the belief. They're going to have the mindset that they know they can finish a game and win it, and that gets stronger and feeds off of itself, and that's a really tremendous asset to have when you know that you're going to finish well, and those games are to be had. So there is no time when this is over. You got to go. 60 minutes plus, and so we have to be geared for it.
Brian Dable was instrumental in Josh Allen's growth in Buffalo, and it looks like Daniel Jones has taken a lot of those similar steps this year.
Mm-hmm.
What are you seeing in his game that has really evolved this year with the new coaching staff?
Well, there's similarities, the commitment to the quarterback running, and fortunately Daniel's a big guy too, like Josh is. There's designed runs that are styled for the quarterback to get on the edge that aren't just the kind of the classic read option thing. They're running him up in the line of scrimmage, same. So they've created a number of ways that he can hurt you. So, he's good enough to do it. Daniel's always made long runs, you know, ever since he's been in the league. His rookie year, he had some big plays, and he's had some tremendous carries and stuff. So this is nothing new for him. I think that the commitment to it is really clear, and how they've tailored it to fit the rest of their game, you know, and it makes it really hard. So there's a tremendous amount of creativity that came out of Coach's experience in Buffalo that they've carried to here, and then they picked up some love from Kansas City too, who has all kinds of stuff that they do, you know. So they're it's a very unique offense.
The strides you guys have made stopping the run the last couple of weeks, how big of a test do these guys present as a benchmark for you?
174 yards a game, you know, that's their average, you know. So it's a huge test, and it's a huge test just playing the running back, and then they have style, and they got the quarterback elements and all of that too. So it's as significant as it gets. The most explosive running team in the NFL. You know, they have more explosives than anybody. So we're going to have to keep those things down to a bare minimum.
When you look back to their game against Jacksonville, their commitment to the run there late on that final drive, just keeping going to Barkley, booting off of the power run and stuff, just the way that they kind of run the ball, how much do you kind of look at that and enjoy it?
Oh, no, I really, you know me, I respect the heck out of that this is the way they've chosen to play. And it doesn't mean that they don't throw the football. They throw the football plenty. But that demonstrates the commitment when they go to it, when they need it at the end of the game, and they have it, you know, and they've won games that way. So, you know, I think it's a great way to play the game. And as they're still developing a younger quarterback, I mean, he'd been around, but with them, he's new. He's a rookie with the coaching staff and all that. So as they develop what he can do, I think they're doing it really in championship fashion. It's really cool.
How much, with the way you had the defensive linemen more aggressive the last couple of weeks, how much maybe are you better equipped than maybe New Orleans?
Well, we're going to find out. Yeah, it's you know, we've got a lot of room to grow and to get better, and we've made legitimate, significant strides, and so we're going to keep doing the stuff that we do and see if we can keep getting better and show the consistency. But 1 or 2 games, that's, you know, that we'll forget about that if we don't keep it going. So, but we started it a couple weeks ago. There ain't no doubt, and so I'm not afraid to tell you that. But this is the ultimate challenge. This is as good a running team as we're going to ever go against, and so we'll find out where we stand.
When you guys signed Marquise Goodwin in May, what would you sort of see in him, and then how have you kind of seen him progress?
You know, we had really good background because Sanjay had worked with him and knew him really well. I always liked the heck out of him. We were thinking of drafting him way back when, and all that. But Sanjay, you know, validated that he's still really, really fast, which he can fly. He hasn't lost any speed, I don't think. I mean, he's as fast as anybody we have on the field, and then he vouched for him as a teammate and a guy that, you know, was dedicated to the little things and the discipline of it, and that he would be good with younger players. I mean, everything just added up, and you know, I don't ever want to turn away guys that run that fast, you know, if we give them a chance. So he's one of the reasons that I say to you when I've said this, you know, that, you know, this is the fastest we've ever been. He's one of those guys that makes us that way. And so if he gets considerable more playing time, you know, we're going to use him. You know, we're going to use him for the things he does well. He had a great game last week. He came through in extraordinary fashion. I don't feel like we talked about him enough, but it's just getting us warmed up. You know, he's got a lot more he can do.
You're 1 win away from tying Bud Grant for career coaching wins in the NFL.
That can't be the truth. That can't be right. It doesn't seem right. That can't be right. This doesn't feel right. How could that possibly be right? But what? I'm sorry. So, you have a question?
What does that mean to you? To be?
No, I don't know. It doesn't seem right. You know, he's way out there to me, and always will be. So, I don't know. I'll let you know later. I don't even have a statement to make about it.
Trey Brown's returning to practice. Where's he at physically, and where do you see him fitting in?
I don't know. I mean, I've watched him work out in his rehab work, and he's been flying around. He's ready to go, and he's been chomping at it for a couple weeks now. But they really wanted to make sure. And we haven't seen him on the field yet. He was in walkthrough today. I'm so excited to see him back out here. Remember, when he left, he was playing darn good football. He had just started to make his impression about how he was really consistent, and he was tough. He was competitive on the ball. He was really consistent was the part that I liked about him for a young guy. And he kept showing it in practice, very much like Michael Jackson has done. And Mike just practiced beautifully, played great in preseason, just kept stepping, you know, doing things right. Well, that's what Trey was doing too, and then he got hurt, you know, just suddenly. And so I'm just, in my mind, I'm picking up where we left off and away we go and let him start battling and see where he fits in with the competition. He'll make us better for sure. And I just hope he can stay healthy and stay out there. I mean, it works out for him.
You guys are already pretty deep at that spot, and Sidney Jones hasn't played a whole lot. How have you seen him handle that, given that he was starting for you last year? Sidney Jones.
Yeah, well, he's coming back out to try today. So he's been in and out. You know, he hasn't been 100%. And Sidney's handling it. He's competing. He wants to get out there. When he was up and active, we put him into games because he deserves to play and is a good football player. So he could start for us still. You know, I mean, that's how good he is. So we'll see how it goes. But he's got to get through practice and feel good about it.
When you talk about the speed of this team, I know that you've talked about it for a while, but is it even more than you had hoped, or right on pace with what you
No,
thought?
I don't think it's. I had pretty high expectations when I was saying that. I think we are. You know, we really can go, and it shows up in special teams, shows up in our cover guys, and our other units as well. Some of the young guys that have added in. Joey Blunt's been a guy that's really jumped out in special teams and really run fast for us as well. So. Derek probably runs faster and more explosive than we thought he would be, you know, and he's been a factor too, and growingly more so. So anyway, I think it's pretty much, you know, what I was excited about. It was really, you know, I went back to the offensive tackles too. Those guys can run. They both run well, and so I mean, when do you have two tackles that run 4.9s? You know, I mean I can't even remember anybody having that. You know, I'm sure they have, but we haven't, and so it's all of that combined.
Mentioned Joey a couple of times in the last 3 weeks. When did he first get on your radar?
You know, he was, you know, in the process of the draft process, and our guys were really excited to get him signed, you know, as a free agent and all that. But in camp, he was definitely showing signs, but not until he really got to play in some good live opportunities in special teams did he show, you know, the kind of thing that you're looking for from Rook. You know, a young guy that you're trying to figure out, and. He hasn't disappointed. He had 4 tackles in one game, you know, and that's a crazy number, and been a factor in others already. So, but it was, you know, he was real consistent. He was real fast, and then when he got his special teams work, it really jumped out. So now we're trying to work him in. We're trying to figure out how he can, you know, because he's on the roster. We want to see if we can get him to, you know, where he can jump in there and play safety for us, which we're feeling pretty good about right now. So, but we're going to keep working it. He's not getting enough turns. He's not getting enough turns yet to really show that off. But he's in the mix of it.
Not that you don't always want to be fast, and you're always looking for that, but was there something that kind of led to this year's team getting that way? I mean, getting something?
Well, you know, Ken Walker, you know, he's one of them, you know, and Marquise was one of them. Already knowing that how Tyler and DK can fly, you know, getting Noah Fant, you know, the tackles, and then really the 2 outside rush guys too, you know, both. We haven't seen all of it yet, but you know. And then Joey makes the team. He's a 4.4 flat guy or whatever. You know, he can fly. I mean, it's stuff like that. You know.
Was that coincidental, or are you pro scouts and you're
Always trying. No, we never haven't been trying since Arkansas days. You know, we've always been trying to get faster. So, but it just looked like it kind of, you know, we hit it a little bit here. So we'll try to keep playing off it.
What have you thought of the way Shelby and Puna have played the past few weeks?
Both have played more actively. Yeah, they've both been more forceful at the line of scrimmage. They've both been pushing the pocket in the pass rush. You've seen both those guys knock balls down. I think they might have 3 or 4 balls knocked down the last couple of weeks, you know, between them. And so that's a huge factor. You know, you forget about it. DB Bunt jumps in front and knocks the ball down. Seems like the greatest play ever, but they knock the ball down. It's the same thing. You know, and they've been really good about it. And they've been part of the change, you know, and the adjustment.
How good was Ryan Neal's game?
Oh man, he had a really, really good game. 7 tackles, 4 pass breakups, you know, in the pick. Beautiful pick, great technique, scheme-wise pick. You know, did it perfectly, and he's been, you know, as we remember when he got to playing I don't know, a year ago, or even maybe it was even 2 years ago, the first time he got his first shot. He's active. He's you know he's out there, and he matches up well with a lot of different guys, and so we're really excited that he's really an active part of it now.
Do you feel like this is the best offensive line play you've gotten collectively in a few years?
Yeah, I think this is the most consistent we've been, and the pass protection has been really consistent. Yeah, I feel really good about it, and I love that we have that Phil and Gabe can both play, and we got, you know, Stone's ready to jump in there if we need him. We've got backups, and Kyle Fuller too. He can start, for us, and so we've got depth, and it's still competitive, and it's been pretty darn consistent. I think Andy's and Khalil are doing a really good job with these guys.
How much of a game changer was it to, you guys are so used to drafting late in the first round or early in the second round, to be able to get a offensive lineman in the top 10?
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, to get a player of that caliber, it took us 2 number ones to get Jamal, and the guy that was picked 6th or 7th in the draft. We were 25 to trade, or whatever we were, there in lower for the last bunch of years. And it feels different. And where we are now, coming in with a couple 1s and a couple 2s, looking ahead, that's an exciting, opportunity for our club, down the road. So far, we've taken advantage of this past draft, and hopefully we can do it again.
What has Andy Dickerson brought to that group up front? What is he kind of?
He's been really on point with the fellas. I mean, they get along great. They understand them. Really was raised in the system, and that's his background and the depth that he has of why we do what we're doing, and from every aspect of it is really connected. And he's related really well. He's been very demanding of him, and he's just really smart about how he does it and handles it. The players the relationships seem really strong, and it's a good, solid group right now. It's fun watching them grow.
What did you notice with Kobe Bryant playing all those snaps, and I think played all 4 snaps, and the array of responsibilities?
Didn't even phase him. It wasn't like he was overloaded or nothing, but gosh, he's getting better. And that position, I think I probably referenced this before, that position has so many intricacies to it, and there's so many nuances and stuff that a guy like Kobe, who studies so hard and is really bright and really an intuitive player, instinctive, he's going to just keep getting better, and he'll see more opportunities to make more plays. You really can take chances at that spot, and a guy that can do that can be a big factor in run, pass, and in pressure. And he was raw starting now. I mean, we're 7 weeks old. He's extensively better than he was as we were starting this thing up. So he's taking advantage of it. And the other part of it too is he's already demonstrated he's a tremendous playmaker. He's already knocking the ball out a bunch. So we're just getting warmed up there.
What did you think of his rep as a outside linebacker? The Chargers were going no huddle, and he was in 2-point stance rushing off the edge. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that. I did. It's really just an indication of how we trust him as he's grown into the position. Our coaches had a way to do that. That wasn't by an accident. That was so. But his versatility, that's just something that we experimented with, and we may do it again. I don't know.
Have you had another? I'm trying to think of a draft pick you had that was an outside guy exclusively that you did this with.
To make a nickel.
Right away.
Yeah, Ugo was probably one of the guys. I don't know if it started this quick, but he jumped into that spot. But we've pretty much kind of found those guys. Yeah, those have been experienced guys that we've moved around because they've got background. Because again, there's so much that goes on there. Kobe's a unique player. He's a very, he's a special guy that could, even when he was kind of faking it to figure out what he was doing okay. And now you see him start to knock balls down and win on routes and use the concepts and stuff well. But yeah, I don't think we've done it with anybody else.
How are Phil and Nick doing? Haynes and
Phil's practicing today. He's going to get some work today. And Nick's here with us. He's running around a little bit, but I think they're going to give him another day before we know. I think he's going to get some activity, though. We'll see what he can do today. So both guys have a chance.
And
Yeah.
Penny Hart?
Penny won't make it this week. Matter of fact, we met about it. He's pushing so hard at it that he's almost holding himself back a little bit. We're going to take one more week, and then next week we think he'll really have a chance to come back.
Dale Taylor, 31 snaps, strip sack. What did you see?
Who would you say?
Dale Taylor.
Yeah, no, he's done. He's catching on to his stride now. He's using his rush opportunities. I think we're finding a good rhythm for him so that he can really be at a high level of energy and explosion, all the things that make him special. So we're still working on it. We're still trying to find it. The numbers just right. Bruce is going to play a little more this week. He'll be ready to go. we look forward to that. And so it just adds to the opportunity for the rotation.
When
Was
the,
Haynes' injury, was that a buzz down from the concussion?
It
monitor?
was, yeah, it was really, they did a great job. This was, I don't mind telling you that this is one of the experiments, this is one of the illustrations of how the whole thing works together. He got popped in the chin or something, and they thought that he needed some time, so, you know, it was, they did the right thing, and obviously, and so we took care of him and followed it through, and our heightened awareness about this is really important. Everybody has to be better at it, and we you know, nobody wants to be negligent, and we're competing, and sometimes we lose sight of what we got to get done here, and so to have that element and to see it work exactly the way it's supposed to work, and it's good, because I mean, a couple more plays out there, you don't know what would happen. You know, he got popped, but he wasn't bad, and so that's why he's practicing today. You know, so, but. Yeah, they're all just trying to figure it out. It's really easy to criticize, but we're figuring out how to make it all work together, and I think we should. It's a good thing. You know, there's nothing bad about that element, making an evaluation to help us just in case, because we got to take care of our guys.
I don't think you do, but do your medical staff have anything to do with the red hat on the sideline? Can they even talk to him?
I don't know. I don't know that. I'm sorry, I don't know that answer.
Ryan Neal brought up the whole turf versus grass debate after Sunday's game. There were a lot of injuries, and that seems to be something that comes up a lot. How safe turf is compared to grass. And we've seen some studies backing up the fact that especially lower extremity injuries are increased on turf. Do you think this is a?
I think we definitely need to look at this really seriously in the offseason again. I mean, it's been a discussion before. We got to do what's right, and we got to do what's safest for the players, and we got to make those choices. And I would pound on the drum for that. And if I know that there's numbers and there's studies, you got to figure out where the study comes from and who's paying for it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here that we got to figure out. We got to do the right thing, but we definitely need to keep looking at it, because every now and then it just feels like something's up, and too many guys going down when they're not even touching anybody. So anyway, we'll see. And then the turfs are way better than they used to be and all that kind of stuff, but we just got to see. I know I'm getting in trouble here, so shut up.
how's Gabe Jackson doing?
He's going to practice today. He's ready to go. Yeah, and he's got to make it through the days, but he should be ready to go.
And what do you know about how Jamal Adams is doing in his recovery?
He sounds encouraged. You know, he's getting over the hump. He's getting moving some and all that. But it's a serious injury, serious rehab. It's going to take him some time. And the first 3-4 weeks are really important that he doesn't have any setbacks and all of that. So he's being really careful. He's at home, and he'll be coming in when it's comfortable for him to do that. So he's upbeat about it, and all that. So that's a good sign.
So it doesn't sound like there's any chance he could come back this season.
No, I don't think. No, I think it's going to go longer than that.
Getting LJ back this week, where can you fit anything?
Well, we're going to try. We'll see how it goes. He practiced well last week, and so we'll see how it goes. We got to check on how it all fits together.
The turnaround you guys have kind of made in the last few weeks on defense, does that feel similar to the midseason turnarounds you made in the past couple of years?
Yep.
Anything else?
It does.